Hey everyone, and welcome back to BMX News. This is a weekly BMX news show where I talk about everything that happened in the previous week within the world of BMX that I think you guys might care about. That being said, yesterday was Thanksgiving, today is Black Friday, so a late happy Thanksgiving to everyone out there who celebrates it. And if this video is any shorter than the BMX news video normally is, that is why. So let's get back to the BMX related things. And the first thing I want to talk about here seems to be the latest internet outrage in BMX, and the thing that the small minority of people within BMX as a whole who are vocal on the internet are mad about this week, and that is that Yumi Tsukuda is off of Fit by Co and on Stranger. Normally these internet outrage things appear to be over exaggerated and kind of just a matter of opinion, but this one actually has some valid points of questioning and wondering. And the first of those is that Yumi Tsukuda just got some signature stuff from Fit, and now he's instantly off and on Stranger. So that can understandably leave people questioning. And then the other thing that people seem to be mad about is that they don't like Stranger as much as they like Fit. Fit has kind of a legendary reputation within BMX, just Mike Aiken, Chase Hawk, Dakota Roach, all of the amazing legendary riders who've been on Fit throughout the years. And then you look at Stranger and they don't quite have the same reputation. And I'm really curious to hear people's opinions on Stranger itself as a company. Let me know what you guys think. And I'm kind of just curious as to the reasoning of all of this, because when someone moves from one company to another, there's gotta be a reason for it. The company offers something more that the previous one didn't, or something happened and they wanted to move over. And I just kind of don't understand why someone would move from a company where they have signature parts, which normally means you're getting paid for those signature parts, to a fresh start with a company with absolutely no signature parts. It's just kind of strange. Kind of just leaves me wondering why and the reasoning behind it, as I said earlier, and I can see why it would leave a bad taste in some people's mouths. So if you guys have an opinion on this move specifically, or Stranger as a whole, let me know in the comments down below. And more importantly, those of you who wouldn't normally comment on something like this because you just don't give a shit, leave a comment and let me know what you think, because I'm a firm believer that the group of people who just don't care and don't comment is vastly larger than the group of people who do seem to care and do comment about these things. Now we can move on to some more sponsorship news, in that Charlotte Worthington is off of Tall Order. There's no word of who she's riding for now, but it does seem that she's moving on to something else. So I'm really curious to hear which company she's moving on with and what kind of happens in the future with that, because women's BMX is poised to be a powder keg right now and just absolutely explode with the 2020 Olympics, and I honestly hope that it does so. We're gonna move on to contest and jam news, where I have one video to talk about. And if you guys remember a couple weeks ago, I talked about how there wasn't really that much coverage for the Dawn of the Streets jam that Austin Augie had, where he gave away $5,000 of his own money to someone. Well, his official video from this event went up on his YouTube channel, so if you guys want to check that one out, you can find it in a link in the description below, as well as links to everything else that I've already talked about and will talk about in the order that I've talked about it. And that being said, we can move into the videos from this week. And the first video I want to talk about is a video that I really wanted to like, and that's why I put it first on my list. And it is the new Drew Bezanson RedBull video that just came out this past week. It's supposed to be a follow-up video to his Joyride 150 videos that we've seen in the past. They're just so epic and literally mind-blowing, but the music on this one, man, just completely ruins it. And it's really just an example of how important every single little aspect of a video can be to how we perceive it, because the music for this one just completely ruined it, and the editing kind of just takes you out of the video, whereas the previous ones, where he's just going absolutely insane in kind of the exact same way, the way that they're filmed and put together with the music just keeps you into it and keeps you psyched and keeps you mind blown by what he's doing, because the music and the filming aid these things and add to his riding. This one just didn't do it, man. I really wanted it to, and the riding in there is just completely insane. When have you ever seen somebody do a literal gap to wall ride out of a vert wall? It might have only been a 2x4 sized gap that he did, but he literally went out of a vert wall, double tired a wall above it, and then came back into the vert wall. If you've ever ridden a vert wall before and you've went above where it goes vertical, you know how scary that had to be, because it was not a small one. But I suppose they do make up some brownie points with the contest that they're doing with Drew Bezanson, which is why I didn't talk about it in the contest and jam section. But they're doing a contest with Drew Bezanson called the Uncontained contest, kind of taking the biggest ramps that you can imagine and throwing a group of the best BMX riders in the world at them just to see what they can do. And the way that this is set up is that it's 2 teams of 7 riders plus the team captain who are going to be going against each other. It appears it's going to be live on RedBull TV as a contest on the ramps that you kind of just have to watch the video to see what I'm saying. It's likely that you've already seen on Instagram the 3-tap that Daniel Wiedemeyer did down the gigantic hitching post that's in the middle of this course. Just watch the video and get excited for what's going to come of this, and I cannot wait to see what happens. And then the next video I want to talk about features Josh Delarosa, and it's his Bone Death Too Fast for Food DVD section. If there's one video you guys watch this week, this has gotta be it. This one only has 2,500 views as of the time of recording this, and it is absolutely bonkers. If you've ever wondered when you watch some of the videos of like pros doing the most insane gigantic drops, like what could go wrong if they didn't get it right on the first try, this video shows exactly that, because it has so many bails and mess ups on these absolutely dead man setups where this guy's just falling out of the sky and landing like a ton of bricks and then getting up and landing every single one of them that they showed, at least I think. And then on top of that, some of the setups that he's grinding in here are just things that absolutely no one would think of except for him apparently, where like one example starts with his bike like on the pegs on this thing, and there's no run up to actually grind this thing while riding, so he runs off of this roof and jumps onto the bike and grinds it, and then drops I think like 8 feet maybe. It's just something huge. So like I said, this is the one video this week, if you're only gonna watch one video this week, that I recommend checking out. And then as usual, but way more than normal, there's a whole bunch of other awesome videos that I think you guys should check out that I want to run through right now in a list. The first one is a cult video with poor homie Rich, and then there's a video with Pat Casey's son Reid Casey called 5-year-old Reid Casey is Crazy. Then there's a video with one of the most dialed BMX riders I've ever seen in my life, and his name is Nick Bonner. You might not have heard of him before. He used to live out here in Ohio, and I used to see him randomly at Ray's in Changa, and this dude could do some of the most insane things that you've ever seen someone do on a BMX bike, and he would do them like mid-run or in a line, and it would just look easy. So to see a video come out with him is something that I'm immediately going to click on and watch, and I definitely think you guys should check this one out. Then we had a video with Brad Gibbs from Pennsylvania, one of my buddies from Pittsburgh, and for all you trail guys out there, we had a PaWoods 2019 video showing caddy and posh trail riding. That brings us into some product related news. The first thing here is a quick promo video for some steel pegs from GT, which was really well done, and you could tell that the focus was promoting the pegs within the video. If you guys have been paying attention to the news video recently, I have been getting on these companies for making promo videos for products and not even showing the products in the promo. This is exactly what I was talking about as being a perfect example. And then the only other product related thing that I had to talk about this week was a video that could have went in the video section, but I figured I'd throw it in here because it's kind of meant to promote the Subrosa Street Rail, and it's called Subrosa Street Rail Session, and it features a whole bunch of the Subrosa team. Let me just read the list for you. Simone Baracco, Joris Colomb, Matt Ray, Trey Jones, Mark Burnett, Bajarki, Jiri, Miguel, Jabe Jones, and Louis Colacion. That's an all-star cast for a video featuring the Subrosa Street Rail, because all these guys shred the flat rail. And basically what this one is all of those guys riding all of the different kits that you can get for the Subrosa Street Rail in order to promote it. And that being said, we can move into the interview section from this week. The first thing I have to talk about here is another grilled video from S&M featuring the man himself, Chris Moeller, building up one of his new prototype signature MD 2020 frames. And just as before, this one is super entertaining. It's almost a half hour long. There's a lot of editing fluff and songs and inserts and stuff in here that I personally don't think were necessary to add to the entertainment of the video, but you might enjoy them, and I enjoyed listening to it. Literally, I watched it all the way through before making this video. So if you guys want to check that one out, you know where to find it. And if you watched last week's news video, I talked about about the favorites video that they did with Scotty Kramer, and I talked about how it would be cool to do something like that with Garrett Reynolds. Well, guess what? That day after I got done making the BMX news video, a video came out with Cinema called Take 5, and it featured Garrett Reynolds. Only in this one, instead of talking about his least and most favorite video part related things, he's answering questions from people on the internet. So check this one out and get to know Garrett Reynolds a little bit more. And then we had another video in the Mongoose Heritage series, this time with Ben Wallace, for you guys to check out. And that being said, that's the last thing I have to talk about this week. It's Black Friday, and I knew I still had to make a video happen for you guys. So here it is. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you had a favorite story or you wanted to chime in about the Yumi Tsukuda fit, stranger deal, or anything else that I talked about today, leave it in the comments down below. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you're new so that hopefully we will see you tomorrow for another video. Thank you for watching again, and goodbye.